We shall move on, and we've got a little section here, and if you are disturbed by graphic images, which Mike was actually, please turn off, simple as that. Because we want to talk about, well, I thought about it the other day. What happens later this year, another COVID-23 comes out, and we can't protect about it, and the different strains we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. But if a new one came along, do we have to go through this again? Because if so, I don't know any companies that will survive, or people who would think, I've had enough, I've had enough. I'll start believing in the conspiracy world. So where did it come from? So I'm going to show a clip now at first about the idea of it could also come from the laboratory. CNN covered this.
The origins of coronavirus.
A caravan of vehicles pulling into the Wuhan Institute of Virology. On board, international experts representing the World Health Organization. Their mission, to find the origin of COVID-19.
What we're trying to do right now at this stage is keep an open mind about every possibility.
CNN connected with zoologist Peter Daszak. He's part of the source tracing assignment here in China. Speaking to us from his hotel room in Wuhan, he had just visited the Virology Institute's highly secured and highly controversial lab. It is from here that former U.S. President Donald Trump and his Secretary of State Mike Pompeo have alleged without any evidence the virus originated.
I think they made a horrible mistake, and they didn't want to admit it.
China has rejected the claim.
So it was good to see the lab, and you know, you confirmed your suspicions that it's an incredibly well built, well designed, well managed lab.
Seeing evidence that this likely came from the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
The Trump administration provided no evidence to support those claims.
Do you think it's possible this virus was engineered within that lab and leaked?
There's no evidence of that at all. But it is something that we talked about with people at the Wuhan lab and got really honest and frank and good, informative answers to. Because they themselves brought this up. Conspiracies around lab leaks that they feel strongly have no grounds.
Swarmed by media throughout their site visits, the WHO field team also inspected the hospitals where the early COVID-19 patients were treated, along with the now infamous Huanan seafood market.
This place had a lot of attention over the past 12 months paid to it. There was a lot of concern that perhaps the virus was still festering in spots, so the Chinese authorities essentially wiped it clean.
Daszak and other experts agree it is most likely that the virus originated from wildlife. Though, without ruling it out, he stops short of concluding it started in the market or even in Wuhan. CNN obtained these images from December 2019. They show a variety of caged creatures inside the now shuttered seafood market.
We're still piecing together the evidence. So we're looking at the animal evidence. You know, what was sold in the market? Where did it come from? What types of animals are they? The ones that could carry coronaviruses?
So there's a story. What Trump said initially is wrong and looked into it. But the issue is, it's not just China. South Asia in general have these wet markets. And this is where it comes disturbing to a level, which we put a warning on this film before it goes out. And I want to continue this little clip, really. So this is what's going on now.
Something's going to happen at some point. The only question is when. It's a perfect storm, really.
The next one could be COVID-20 or 21.
SARS, MERS, Ebola, 3 killer diseases that jumped from animals to humans.
I would say that the possibility is extremely high that the next infectious disease of humans that comes is going to come from animals, probably wildlife.
Most scientists agree COVID-19 probably originated in wildlife. So how do we stop it happening again and save lives in the future? In Vietnam's Mekong Delta, rats are a cheap and popular snack. While some wet markets just sell vegetables and meat, Many worldwide kill and clean animals to order. Elsewhere, different types of birds, some wild, slaughtered and cooked while the customer waits. They say the meat is fresh. Some argue it's kinder than battery farming.
Ăn không khổ. Bữa giờ đi chợ có sợ cúm Vũ Hán không? Sợ thì sợ nhưng mà cái này là của thiên nhiên mà. Yeah.
Since the news broke that coronavirus may have spread from an animal market in Wuhan, the wildlife trade has been back in the spotlight. But even as we fight one pandemic, it's feared we're opening the door to the next. In Indonesia's northern Sulawesi province, despite the pandemic, our crews film bushmeat still for sale. Most of the animals at these markets are already dead. There's charred dog, barbecued bats, and snakes.
Ya kalau banyak memang susah sulit dan berlaku karena orang masih takut kan, ada isu-isu dari pertama tuh corona itu dari kelelawar, jadi orang lain masih takut-takut.
A cauldron of different species in filthy conditions.
That environment is very high risk. Very high risk. They're not wearing gloves, they're not wearing masks, they're not wearing overalls. All of these different things coming together, live animals, dead animals, pieces of animals, humans. The conditions are absolutely perfect for viruses. It just needs a number of different factors to come together at the right time, and you end up with a pandemic.
Officials at Langwan said they'd investigate what we found, and selling live animals has been banned since the COVID-19 outbreak. There are no plans to close Tomahon Market, but roadblocks are being set up to stop wildlife coming in for food, and people are being advised not to eat it. The World Health Organization estimates that 60% of all infectious diseases in humans come from animals, and COVID-19 has already killed hundreds of thousands of people. Animal welfare campaigners say the message is clear. Wildlife trading must be totally banned to prevent another pandemic.
I just want to say, if you're Chinese and you're okay with this, if you're anyone over in Asia and you're okay with this, you're an animal. You are worse than these creatures that you are subjecting to torture and death like this. You're an animal if you're okay with this.
I think it's obviously horrendous, and that's why we talked about it. But it just shows you where another virus can come from, and probably will come from.
It will come from. It will come from that. Of course it will.
You've got to look at
of course it will.
People's culture.
They're eating stalks. They're eating stalks. What is that all about? They're eating stalks, and that's a gateway drug, by the way. I mean, next minute you're eating a heron.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, Mike. Do you ever go to an Indian restaurant or a takeaway?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll have halal meat, which is another story, but that's okay with you. So have an animal slit its throat and the blood drain out.
I wasn't involved.
So why aren't you shouting that loud about that
process? I'm not saying any of it's wrong. I was a vegetarian for a long time before.
But you're not now.
I'm not now.
So why aren't you saying the same things about that culture, which you just mentioned about?
Oh, get off your high horse! Right, this is a different level of being a bellend.
Cruelty?
No, this is just summer.
It's
hideous.
Horrendous.
It's
but
hideous.
It's a way.
Like I say,
rats for a snack. I mean, but if you're starving, I don't know. I mean, cheap things, I don't know.
I can't get my head around it. Right.
At the end of the day, you've been brought up in the Western culture, and that's all you know.
Oh, don't give me this. Listen.
Did you ever live in Africa like me?
Give me a break, right? Is that really your defence of this? You're a joke if you're saying that.
Because the culture is different, man.
It's not a different culture. You're talking about here. You're talking about people that are eating stalks on sticks. You know, these are fucking weird people. If they're eating stalks on sticks,
so
this
you're
is ridiculous.
Happy for a cow to come along and have its throat slit And then some of the farming procedures in America of chickens.
I'm not happy with any of that.
The farming procedures of chickens in America is horrendous. If not worse than that.
This takes it to another level, a scary, horrific level, where they're eating bats there. Yes. They're eating bats, and then and you've got there's one video I've seen of late where someone's complaining, "Oh my God, we're struggling. There's not enough bats around."
So how do you stop?
People are scared of eating bats.
How do you stop this?
How do you stop it? You've got to educate people and go, stop eating dogs for starters. Yeah, let's stop eating storks. Let's stop eating all these weird things. No, I get it. Years ago, things were tough, right? And if you got a dead animal, you would just go for the meat, and then you go, right, let's get the trotters, let's get the eyelids, let's get everything, because things were bad. We've got pot noodles now. We've got pot noodles. Get a pot noodle. Get a pot noodle.
But you're still not answering the question about.
There isn't a question, really.
I mean, you've got to understand why people turn vegetarian for that reason alone.
Oh my God! This isn't even about that. This is about there is no need. There's no need to be eating this stuff. Eating bats. Why are you eating bats? It doesn't even make sense.
Why
it doesn't make sense to be eating a bat.
Why do people take rhino horn as for some medical reason?
Well, there's another show. I could do a whole show on that.
Carries on, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
So how do you change that culture? It's like you shouting and bawling.
Educate them and no, I don't think I know better, but I think that it's time.
Western world with
me in my Western world bullshit. Listen, they need to stop eating bats, storks. That's weird, man. That's weird. If you go, what are we having for tea? I'm having a stork.
What about grouse?
Listen, I don't have that either. I don't have that. You know,
you don't.
I don't.
But it's not about you, is it,
Mike? No, it's not about me. It's about, stop eating shit you shouldn't be eating.
Well, turkey twizzles.
There's something wrong with you, you know.
No,
really, there is something wrong with you.
You don't understand the point, do you? Turkey twizzles just brought off the kids' menus.
Go on then. Tell us about turkey fucking twizzles.
No protein, just byproduct.
And that's the problem.
Turkey.
No protein.
Well, they're feeding kids with it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, get them on stalks.
Get
them on the stalks.
If you've got a view on this, please go on our YouTube channel or email us and let us know what's your thoughts on it. What's the answer, though? Ignore Mike. What's the answer to this problem? Because we are going down this road, which we will have a COVID, like the professor said, 19, 20, 21, 22. When will it end?
Thank you for watching. I'm impressed. You've passed the IQ test and got this far, so let's press that button to do the last thing that helps us. It's got subscribe on it, you can't miss it, and please ring the bell for notifications of future videos.